I don't think people understand how important Frank Sinatra was for the modernizing of albums in the music world. All of us here know about Frank Sinatra and how he was a legend, all blue eyes with classics like Fly Me to the Moon and My Way, and when it's time for Christmas, we hear him everywhere. However, that is only the beginning. Frank Sinatra was also the one who paved the way for the way albums were made in the 60s, thing that in my opinion completely changed music. It wasn't always that way though. The beginning of Frank Sinatra's career was actually quite underwhelming musically. You'll surely find some gems, especially if you like the man's voice, but the moment he signed a deal with Capitol, everything changed. His first few albums were really good and already showed signs of an idea, but that idea was only completed with his next album In the Wee Small Hours, released in 1955. Now, allow me to provide you with some context. Back then, albums were basically a showcase of the artist, a way to sell not only music, but an image as well. However, Frank wanted to make a different album, one that elevated the songs through continuity, and in this case, Heartbreak would be the thing to carry that continuity. The entire album is filled with a beautiful sense of sadness, where Sinatra exposes his most vulnerable self through melancholic vocals and Nelson Riddle's arrangements. The lyrics accept the hurtful side of love that most try to avoid. They depict a man missing the version of himself that was in love and tries to console his current self fighting through the grief of losing that love. This whole story is told through songs that have no narrative connection between them, but their mood, the feeling they carry brings them together, and that connection is exactly what makes this album so important. This was the first time such a connection was achieved, showing that he was much more than a pop culture icon. Frank Sinatra had a huge impact in the music world and how he became what it is today and what it used to be. So, the next time someone says that Old Blue Eyes is only good around Christmas time, show him this album and let him discover the real Frank Sinatra.